Hi everyone, it's Tricia. Thank you so much for joining me here. The following is an excerpt from a Facebook Live event, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to share a little story with you guys, so as just a little message to start off. And so something really interesting happened to me yesterday, nay, a little traumatic, dramatic for sure. But of course, as life, as this life experience is, as absolutely everything is offered to us as a beautiful opportunity to expand, that's what it ended up being. So we have this door that separates my husband's studio. It's this big barn door that he had custom made. I mean, it looks like a barn door. It's made of this really heavy wood. This big heavy barn door and made out of reclaimed barn wood. And it actually weighs 100 pounds. It seems like it's heavier than that, but my husband says that he actually did weigh it to see how much it weighs. So it's on this kind of suspended thing on this rail that slides across, and then it's on a little guide system on the bottom. And so my husband was gone yesterday at a session. Like he's a composer, and so he was at a recording session, and so he was gone, which is kind of unusual. He works in the house. He's here making a lot of noise right now. And I was trying to get out. I was trying to leave for an appointment. And the barn door, as I'm going through, it kind of got hit. It got a little hitch in it in the bottom, in the little guide system, the little rail that it guides through. So it got a hitch in it, and so I was like, And I know sometimes if you it's happened before, and you just kind of need to rock it, and it'll push over that. And I just needed it to get open wide enough so I could leave, And so I was doing that, and it came off the top rail. There's two big wheels, and so it came off one of the wheels, and I had to run around in front of it because it's so heavy. You have no idea how heavy this thing is. And it was, with the one wheel off and in the guide, it was like gonna just fall, and it would have pulled itself off the top wheel rail thing. So I went around and I was holding it, and I couldn't let it fall because it would destroy. Well, first of all, it would have terrified me, just the sound of it. And I mean, it would have destroyed like probably $10,000 worth of guitars, which obviously is one of which doesn't belong to my husband. It belongs to his client, the person band he's producing. So obviously, if it was between me and the guitars, it would be the guitars. But I wasn't there. Like, it was an option that it was going to fall. And I'm standing there holding it. And I started to move it. I can't move it. I can't move it to get that wheel back on top of it. And it's heavy. And I'm holding it, and it's hard for me to even hold it up because it was attached still to the floor on the bottom. So I couldn't scoot it out so that I could lean it against the wall. The only thing it was going to do was fall. So I'm holding it, and I don't have my phone on me. And I'm panicking a bit because I didn't know what to do. How long can I hold this? And I don't have my phone, and I thought, if I scream loud enough, will my neighbor hear me? And she wasn't probably home, but then I was like, but what good will that do? Because my door is locked, and she can't get in. And it's a woman. And sorry, not to be sexist, but she is, probably not going to be able to lift it either, and neither the two of us together. It's that heavy. So I didn't know what to do. I was screaming, I was crying, I was frustrated. I moved it. I kept rocking it. I thought maybe I could rip the thing out of the floor by leveraging its own weight against itself. So as I did that, the other wheel came off. So now both wheels are off, and it's just stuck to the floor, and I can't do anything. And so I'm holding it, and I just kind of took a moment, and I kind of calmed myself down a little bit. And I say just a little bit, but I'm holding it with both hands up in the air, and I'm screaming, I don't know what to do. I'm not going to scream right now. I don't want to, but I was screaming, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I need help. I need help now. I need help. And I just kept screaming it. And I actually kind of, even though I was in this state, I kind of laughed at myself internally because I was like, I've never really screamed at angels before, and I don't think you have to scream at them. I mean, my experience is you can say very quietly in your mind. I was just screaming like, I need help. I need help. This is the time that I need help. I don't know what to do. And, I have physical limitations. My physical body couldn't do anything else about it. I had no idea when my husband was going to be home. So it's not even like I could just stand there for hours. Turns out he wasn't going to be home for like 8 hours. So there's no way I could stand there holding that door for 8 hours. So, so I was like, okay, I need help. And I actually did see in my mind's eye, even in the panic I was, a real quick image of angels rushing down. And I felt Archangel Michael's energy. And then I just started rocking the door back and forth, not knowing what that could do, thinking maybe I'll rip the thing out of the floor and then I can scoot it out. Screaming works too, right, Juliana? Screaming at angels works. They hear that too. And so I'm rocking it. And as I do that, suddenly it stops. And one of the wheels on the top caught. And then somehow, in the angle that it caught, it wedged itself in on the bottom too, so that it was propped up against the wall. Before, it was when one wheel was hanging, it wasn't propped. There was no way to make it actually stay against the wall. So it was stationary for a second. So I ran and got my phone, unlocked the door, ran and got my phone and called one of our best friends who lives 1 block away, thank goodness. And also he works, so what are the chances that he's home in the middle of the day? This was like at 11 a.m. He answers his phone, thank God, and that's what I said. I said, thank God, oh my God, can you come help me? This door, it almost killed me. And he's like, I'm on my way. And he was actually leaving work for some reason already. Drove 50 miles an hour to get here. And I called my husband after I called that friend. And he's a big, strong guy, so, he was the right person, not another puny lady like me. So, he came over and was able to... we just lay the door down and, there you go. Because it was also not okay for me to just leave it in that position that it was, because my cats, I had no idea how stable how long it was going to stay in that position. And I didn't want, to leave it there with my cats. So here's the amazing message that came across. So I'm dealing with this past couple of weeks, I'm working on my soul star chakra. And so self-worth and self-value are things that I'm working on and releasing the areas where out of the shadow, just the areas of not having enough self-worth and value. And so the other thing that is starting to come up, sort of as an extension of that, is limitations. And so what happened there was my physical body has a limitation in not being able to rescue myself from keeping this 100-pound door from crashing down on me or on, something else that's important and valuable. So my physical body couldn't do it, but, spirit is there. Angels came to help me. And we have as much access to angels, to source, to all of the universal energies, to infinite intelligence, to infinite healing, to one another, all of a light worker help, every person, every energy. We have the exact same access, this exact same ownership of that as we do of our own physical body. So in that scope, there are no limitations. So just because my physical body couldn't do it, so I just switch gears and I switch it over to angels, who rescued me this time. So we have no limitations, literally. We choose we just switch into a different gear. So I switched out of the gear of my physical body, and even my mind, my intelligence or whatever, my logic couldn't figure it out either. Because the way that door got lodged in there, that was total, angels doing it. I didn't think that there was a way for me to make it do that. I hadn't experienced that. I didn't figure that out. My intending to rock it was just like, I'll just do something. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'll just start, screaming and rocking it. That's the best thing I could do. It's either that or stand here. So I just want to say again, we have access to absolutely every single kind of resource and help. And again, we own it as much as we own our own physical bodies, because there is no separation, of course, but because that's what love is. Because love never can leave us, because love is perfect.